With 1 in every 4 homes owning a dog, they are the nation's favourite pet.
Oh, hello.
But for some, they are the targets for cruelty and abuse.
It's rare a job actually gets to you, but that was horrendous.
For nearly 200 years, the RSPCA have been there, protecting these amazing animals.
There's an elderly-looking German Shepherd.
These are the people for whom appalling treatment...
Look, he's not even going to hurt you.
...atrocious living conditions...
He hasn't got any access to shelter.
...and severe neglect are unforgivable.
He's one of the worst that I've seen in nearly 20 years.
They'll do everything within their power to ensure that man's best friend is properly looked after. These are the dog rescuers. Coming up, wild dogs locked up for their entire lives are out of control.
I think that's the most feral dog I've ever come across.
A race to save a dog trapped in a hot car.
And you've got a ticket until midnight tonight, so if the sun comes out, the dog will roast.
And the pub landlord who's been left with an extra mouth to feed.
The dog just doesn't get the attention she deserves, which is not fair on the animal, really.
Dogs are arguably the nation's most domesticated animal. They're loyal, intelligent, great companions, and obedient. But this is only because they're socialised with humans from birth and trained to behave in an acceptable manner. When dogs aren't socialised or trained, then they revert to what they essentially are. Wild animals with a pack mentality and killer instincts. These dogs, being kept in a house near Manchester, are semi-feral. They're uncontrollable, aggressive and dangerous. Inspector Vicky MacDonald has been called out to investigate reports that dogs here are inbred and have been fighting. As the owners let her in...
Right, let's have a look at what we've got.
Vicky discovers at least a dozen dogs tied up and crammed into disgusting conditions, although the owners are claiming to be cleaning up.
Look, there's more than just hiding. More than one dog in there. Let's go in.
The owners are being obstructive.
No, I'm going in the room. Come on.
And are refusing to open rooms that have been locked with dogs inside.
Why is it all tied up like that?
It quickly becomes clear that some of the dogs are suffering.
These living conditions are completely inadequate.
Vicky isn't getting any cooperation from the man or his wife and has real concerns about the safety of the dogs.
Separate any dogs that are likely to fight whilst I'm just outside.
She's worried that if the dogs aren't separated, then they could start to fight.
There's bonkers in there, and it's too difficult for one person on their own with that many dogs and 2 people who are so irrational. It's impossible to deal with that on your own, so my best option is just to remove myself.
But the owner's behaviour gets even more bizarre as they bundle 2 puppies into the car and make a run for it.
He's trying to leave with the dogs. Yeah. Right, can you not leave with the dogs, please? No, please do not leave. No, please do not leave with the dogs.
You're not being now, you're not even explaining.
Powerless to stop them, Vicky calls 999.
Oh, sorry, police, yes, please. It's Inspector MacDonald from the RSPCA. The person involved in this is now trying to leave the premises with the animals. Yeah, a male and a female are just leaving. He's got a dog. He's got a dog on his lap, a puppy on his lap, and a dog on the back seat.
Vicky asked the owners to separate any dogs that might fight, but it quickly becomes clear that they didn't do it, as just seconds after they leave, all hell breaks loose.
You can hear just how many dogs are inside.
With no power of entry, all Vicky can do is stand back and listen to the sickening sound of a dog being attacked in one of the bedrooms.
There's dogs fighting up there. Oi! Oh my God. Crikey, this is just getting worse. How can they just drive off and leave that? Oh my God.
Fortunately, the police arrive within minutes and Vicky is able to get back inside.
If you go in, I'm happy to come with you.
Heading straight for the dogs fighting upstairs, she is horrified at what she discovers.
Right! Stupid idiot.
The owner has let the dogs out of the rooms they were locked in.
Dog here that's been badly attacked. Come on. Oh, it can't even walk.
A female dog has been seriously wounded and is in urgent need of veterinary attention.
Bless its heart. Get down. That's what we could hear. He's just left them knowing that they were... There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do until the vet gets here.
The vet is on his way, but this dog's injuries are so severe that Vicky's unable to help her.
He's got his legs. He didn't stand a chance. It can't walk. I think it's probably not going to survive. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. Let's go and check the other rooms.
The rest of the dogs are still loose in the house, so Vicky needs to get back inside to prevent any more fighting. When local vet Gus Mackenzie arrives, the dog's injuries have already proved to be fatal.
This dog is sadly no longer with us. I've certified it dead as soon as I've arrived. Just recording some facts about the state of the body.
With the dogs inside still fighting, find out later whether Vicky's able to save the rest of them. Not all acts of cruelty and neglect against dogs happen over a prolonged period of time. Sometimes what seems like a harmless decision can soon lead to a life or death situation. In the summer months, heat can be a dog's biggest killer. In Bristol, Inspector Becky Jeffrey is on her way to a Jack Russell trapped in a hot car.
Dogs can't cope with the heat. Even if you leave your dog in the car in the shade, the sun might move round and then you now have a dog in a sunny, hot car. I think a dog can die in something like 15 minutes. Can you just imagine just getting roasted alive? It just must be one of the worst ways for a dog to die.
It's a misconception that leaving a window slightly open will ensure the safety of a dog.
I've got one little window open there.
As it's not the lack of oxygen that can kill dogs, it's the heat.
He's got a bottle of water there, he can look at the water. And you've got a ticket until midnight tonight, so that's quite a long time for him to be stuffed in there.
A dog can get heat stroke if its body temperature rises by just 5 degrees centigrade, which, if left in a car on a hot day, can take as little as 15 minutes. Because dogs can't normalise their temperature like we can, they have no way of cooling down.
If the sun comes out, the dog will roast. So it shouldn't be left there.
Inspector Miranda Albinson was first on the scene.
I've contacted a vet who's certified that this dog is likely to suffer if we leave it in there. She doesn't want it left in there anymore. We've taken a witness statement and now we're just waiting for the police to attend, so hopefully we can remove the dog.
It's estimated that several hundred pets suffer this unnecessary fate every summer. According to the parking ticket, this Jack Russell could have been in the car for almost 9 hours. After a bit of a struggle,
Oh, well done.
they managed to get the door open.
See, Miranda's tall and slim. There we go, buddy. I got you.
It turns out the dog is called Benji, and he's very thirsty.
Is that better, little man? He's absolutely fine. Buddy, hello. However, it was left in a place where it shouldn't have been left, so it's had no water, hasn't been able to go to the toilet. Could have been a blisteringly hot day, 30 degrees, they wouldn't have had a dog to come back to, so it's failing to meet the animal's needs.
Benji may be okay, but his owner will have to be interviewed and cautioned. He returns just as Becky's about to leave, and he's lucky to be getting Benji back.
I'll give you my lecture now, all right?
Yeah.
When us as inspectors have to go and pick up dead dogs, it's horrendous, it's horrible, okay? Not it's only horrible for us, it's horrible for you as well. You shock yourself, and more importantly, it's probably the worst way for a dog to die, okay? He's been lucky because it's been a nice cool day, but honestly, I've seen it happen where they've just left the dog in the car for half an hour and it's gone, okay? So please don't do it, all right? Okay, have you learnt your lesson?
Yes.
All right.
Benji was lucky this time, and Becky's confident that his owner won't make the same mistake again.
He probably had the shock of his life when he sees 2 RSPCA vans and 2 police vehicles sat outside his car. It's probably given him a shock. I think he's probably learnt his lesson anyway. I reckon.
And that's what we want, isn't it? People not to leave their dogs in cars.
In Manchester, Inspector Vicky MacDonald is at a property overrun with semi-feral dogs. They're cooped up in filthy conditions and have never been socialised.
It stinks out here.
It's made them aggressive, territorial, and unpredictable.
Separate any dogs that are likely to fight whilst I'm just outside.
When Vicky arrived, the owners fled the property, ignoring her request to keep the dogs segregated. As a result, fighting broke out, with fatal consequences for one of the females.
This dog is sadly no longer with us.
And with so many dogs out of control,
Hey! Stop it now!
it isn't long before they're fighting again.
Hey! Stop it! Stop it now! Stop it! Oh, there's another fight broken out. This is just absolute madness. I don't know which dogs get on with which dogs, so we're now left with this situation and it seems to be calm, and then the next thing you turn around and it goes mad again.
Vicky's managed to break the fight up, but this female terrier cross has been badly wounded.
They're living and behaving like pack animals. They've interbred and they are behaving in that kind of feral way.
She's shaking with fear.
They've just never been outside, have they?
Although Vicky's actions may have saved her life,
She feels better once you're holding her. She's not so panicky.
vet Gus Mackenzie is concerned about the extent of her injuries.
This one's got wounds very similar to the one that was found dead. She needs to go to the surgery.
The way these dogs are behaving is a far cry from the obedience and loyalty associated with the nation's favourite pet. But looking inside the house, it becomes clear how they've ended up like this.
Flies are buzzing around. There's faeces up on the table. There's faeces on the floor. They've obviously been shut in here, and that's where they go. And you can tell they've been shut in here. Look at that. They've actually scratched right through to the brickwork.
As many of these dogs are young, it's possible they've led their entire lives here.
All of this was tied up here.
Imprisoned and never seeing the outside world.
Come on then, sausage. I know.
In the bedroom where the fatal attack took place, Vicky finds another young dog.
All right.
And it's absolutely terrified.
Come on then. So scared. The thing is, they've just witnessed what's gone on up here as well. Are you a scaredy? Come on then.
Every dog needs to be checked by Gus.
Female terrier type, I'm going to call her.
They're all cousins, uncles, aunties, mums, dads, and the rest.
Inbreeding in dogs can be dangerous, as it can cause abnormalities, deformities, and a weak immune system. With 13 dogs to remove, Vicky has called in inspectors from all over Manchester to help out. Although they've yet to capture the most aggressive of the dogs, which are currently hiding in the back garden. Because these dogs have probably never been handled or had a lead put on them, their instinctive reaction is to struggle.
All right. Oh, careful.
But this puts them at risk of injuring themselves or even strangulation.
These dogs
Be careful, Lorna, this one has bitten me.
they just don't know how to behave.
Situations like this are as dangerous for the handlers as they are for the dogs.
And you can see how they can be so dangerous when they get to fighting with the others, can't you? Yeah.
Rounding them all up takes over 3.5 hours, with the final dog putting up the biggest fight of all.
I think that's the most feral dog I've ever come across. What about you?
Yeah, pretty wild, that one.
What you see here is just a crazy situation. I mean, you've got dogs here ranging ages from probably 6 months up to several years. So these dogs haven't been coming out. They've literally been living in this situation, fighting probably over food, sex, general hierarchy. These aren't wild animals, and yet they've ended up getting to a state where they are practically wild animals, and they have no idea how to behave outside those four walls.
With 13 dogs removed from the house, it's finally empty. 10 of the dogs are being taken to boarding kennels, but 3 need to be treated for injuries at the vets. We'll find out what happens to them later. The public house is undoubtedly one of the cornerstones of social culture in the United Kingdom. But at a pub in Peterborough, one of the locals has outstayed her welcome.
I'll go and grab a nail. No worries.
Only difference with this regular is that she's a long-haired German Shepherd cross called Cassie, who's been left behind by her owner, the pub chef.
Oh, she's lovely.
Inspector Justin Stubbs has been called in to see if he can help.
What's the story?
My chef left last Sunday, and as yet he hasn't come back. So I've been texting and trying to get hold of him. If you've got to do something about the dog.
Yeah.
With me working down here all day, she's just being locked away.
Has he responded to any messages, phone calls, texts, or anything in any way, shape or form?
I've got a couple of text messages saying he was trying to organise a lift and he'd be here Wednesday, then he was going to be here Thursday. Today I've heard nothing at all.
OK.
It's 5 days since Cassie last saw her owner, although she doesn't appear to be missing him at all.
She's a little bit nervous, but it might just be uniforms. But in herself, she's beautiful. Beautiful dog, a little bit lean, but that's probably just the breed. I've got no concerns about her welfare whatsoever.
In 2012, over 300 stray or abandoned dogs like Cassie were found every day. Justin's only been here for 10 minutes, but she's already won him over.
She's my type of dog because she's that bit bigger. I'm not into the handbag type of dogs. She's obviously got a lot of life and energy about her. She's just really, really good-looking dog.
With a business to run, the landlord can't devote the time Cassie needs and wants her to be properly looked after.
The dog just doesn't get the attention she deserves, which is not fair on the animal, really. Now, that's the priority. You've got to look after the dog. It's not her fault.
I can't take her away yet, even if the gentleman signed her over to him, because it's not his dog. So really, I've got to get in touch with the owner before we do anything.
The landlord's tried unsuccessfully to get hold of Cassie's owner many times.
It's gone through his answering. I'll leave a message.
But as he tries again, Justin has an idea and steps in.
So don't mean to leave a message, because I've got a better idea where I'm going with it. Is that all right? My name's Inspector Justin Stubbs from the RSPCA up near Peterborough. I've been called to Cassie. Obviously, there's just concerns about what you're doing with her, what your intentions are, etc. Could you give my office a call? OK, thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Legally, I'd be struggling to take her away, given that he's made contact yesterday.
Yeah.
That there comes a point at which if he continually fails to do anything, then you've got a bit more say in the matter.
Sometimes a stern word from an RSPCA inspector can prompt dog owners into action.
It might even be just a bit of a kick up the bum that makes him realise he's got to sort it out.
Yeah.
And just over 10 minutes later, Justin's quick thinking appears to have done the trick.
Hello? All right, mate. What about if I bring her over in the morning? Can you do me a favour? Text me the address I've got to go to. All right, mate. See you later. Bye. Problem solved. There you go. First time I've spoken to him since last Sunday, but job done.
Easiest job of the day, then.
OK, no problem. All right, mate.
After an extended stay at the pub, it looks as though Cassie's finally going home.
A lot of people will look after people's pets without being asked, and are reluctant sometimes to push the situation a little bit with the owner, and sometimes just the RSPCA turning up and just making that little bit of an inquiry can be the catalyst to get the problem solved. And thankfully, as we've seen with the quick turnaround of me phoning him and then him phoning straight back, pub's happy, dog's happy, and I'm sure by tomorrow the owner will be happy. And I'm happy.
The 13 dogs rescued from shocking conditions in a house near Manchester have been taken to a local animal hospital. It's less than 24 hours since their horrendous ordeal in which one dog was killed and another badly injured.
Come on.
But even in such a short space of time, they've made huge improvements.
See, already they're more willing to follow us.
Although what you're seeing today is still very scared and very timid, you can handle them, and that's just 24 hours from being removed from that situation.
The female, saved in the nick of time by Vicky, has been treated and is doing well.
The wounds are generalised all round the neck, top and bottom, both sides of the head. This ear's been ragged and ripped. You see where the bite wounds are, they're still oozing.
When you actually see the wounds in the clipped state, I just think, crikey, that must hurt. And how much longer would it have taken for the fate of this one to end up being like the first one? And I think she's a lucky little girl.
Keeping so many dogs together in a confined space can cause many problems. Although in this case, Vicky thinks she knows what the catalyst was.
And I think it's very interesting that every single dog that's been attacked is a bitch in season. I mean, the situation there was only going to get worse and only going to get more dangerous. So I think, yes, we're lucky to have got there when we did. And in good time, we've got those animals out and we can give them a better life now, hopefully.
Cassie, the long-haired German Shepherd cross left behind at the pub, was reunited with her grateful owner. And the dogs rescued from the house in Manchester are continuing to improve and should be ready for rehoming soon. Next time, the race to rescue a dog trapped on one of the hottest days of the year.
I dread to think what temperature it is in that room. You know, there's full sunlight here today. This dog needs to be removed. It's not acceptable at all.
And unbelievable living conditions for dogs in South Wales.
This is disgusting. You shouldn't be living like this. You can see that, can't you? Right.